Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 69. And in this episode, we are covering Star Wars Outlaws. Hello, listeners, and what a week it's been for Star Wars gaming. Joining me, as always, is my best pal and favorite American man. It's Jimmy.
Howdy.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Got a little bit of downtime. We got our 3-day week for the holiday, so I
Nice.
finally got to play some Outlaws, getting ready for today's episode. So, yeah, been fun. How about yourself?
Good. Oh, it's been a crazy 3 days. Tessa has turned 9 today, so Sunday. And since Friday, it's just been non-stop presents and surprises, spoiling her. And yeah, trying to cram as much Star Wars Outlaws in as possible. It's just been absolutely manic. Managed to get some secret tips and hints for people that want to play it on the go, which we will dive into on the show. Unbelievable. So if you want to play Star Wars Outlaws on the cheap and also on the fly, while actually moving around and traveling as much as I do, then stick with us, okay? And I will be delving into it and letting you guys and girls know how to do it. Speaking as well about guys and girls, again, we've had a massive influx of people that have joined. So, as always, Jimmy, it's your time to shine.
Oh, boy. And again, I apologize in advance. I've tried my best, and I would never disrespect anybody. So understand I am trying my best here, folks. All right. So I want to welcome Eric Hosner, Lee Taylor, Jedediah Jones, Yoko Haruyama, Amy Wasley, Howie Pearl, Wayne Toddy, Andrew Loudon, Mark Dawes 9, Zerl, the Rebel Base Card, Glenn Higgins, Trooping with Robin, Junker Fox 03, Dean 086, Wes Burns, Nick Vernus, Goonies 311, Padawan Chronicles, Jessica, Master Jordan, Justin Minichelli, and Wynn Griffin James. So thank you for joining us.
Yes, remember to like this episode, share it with your Star Wars friends and family. Follow us all on the social media platforms at Explore the Force. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're on all the social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, and also Threads. So, that time of the week, let's head over to our Force Encounters. Okay, Jimmy, I started off last week, so I'm going to let you start this week, buddy. What have you got for the Force Encounters this week?
Well, for our main show, I had to do some research, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly. So there's that. And then, so this past week was kind of rough. Just Molly and I are both having a hard time getting back into the swing of school. Like, it's unusual. It's weird this year. And so we're at home, we're working, I don't know, people think that we just stop working when school's over, but we come home from practice and we continue to do stuff. And we threw on Solo. We watched about half of it, I think, Tuesday night, and then we watched the other half Wednesday. And I mean, that movie just brings happiness to my heart. And of course, the mailman texts me, I don't know, it was like Friday or Saturday. What day is today? Today's Sunday. So it was like Friday. I think he texted me. He's like, how would you feel about rewatching Solo and just talking about why you love it so much? And I thought, the Force is with me. So I was like, that's an awesome idea. So we will be talking about my favorite Star Wars movie on Tuesday night. So if you like it, if you don't like it, join us. But I'm pretty excited because it was weird because I was actually going to, I told Molly, I was like, man, I really love this movie. And I caught a few things I had never caught before, which is saying something because I have watched that movie a lot of times. And I caught a Doc Ondar reference that I never noticed before. And I was like, wait, what did he just say? Or she say? And I rewound it. And I was like, oh, I just mentioned Doc Ondar. So that was pretty exciting. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped for that. And I was going to do a Jimmy's love letter to Solo, but now I don't have to because we're going to do it on Tuesday night. So I'm pretty excited. The Force is with me, and I'm one with the Force.
Nice, love it, excellent. Mine's been quite a quiet week this week. I've just done a little bit of reading. I've done some reading as well into Crimson Dawn, some of the comics I got sent from Marvel. So I'm partway through that. I've been reading about bounty hunters as well. I absolutely love the scoundrels and the bounty hunters side of things. And again, like you, I've been playing loads and loads of Star Wars Outlaws as and when I can. Yeah, so in terms of Force encounters, it sounds like I've done a little bit, but it's not really been that much. That's pretty much it for Force encounters. Okay, so let's hear the news then that's coming out of Batuu.
All right, Star Wars Outlaws has released this week and has some mixed reviews, which we're going to cover in the main show. But another great news, the late and most certainly great Carl Weathers has gotten his Hollywood star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's super exciting. He deserves it for everything he's done, from Apollo Creed to his character in The Predator and everything he's done for Star Wars over the last couple of years. Just an awesome guy. We know he's loved. We had Brendan Wayne on here. I mean, he got a little choked up thinking about him. That tells you right there when a man is loved, when his buddies, think that highly of him. So yeah, it's pretty exciting news that he got his walk, his star on the Walk of Fame.
Yeah, massive congratulations to his family as well for that. In other news, Amanda Stenberg gave her thoughts on social media on the decision for the Acolyte to be pretty much canned for season 2, and she said it's not a great shock. Long story short on this, she revealed how much hate, racism, just absolute nonsense really, that not just her but a lot of the cast were getting well before the Acolyte ad even aired. And it does really show, the true dark side. I'm not even going to say of the fandom, but of people, and people that, they might not even be Star Wars fans. It's not great to hear. But I do think she'll bounce back. I hope she does bounce back. She is an incredible actress. Hopefully it doesn't affect her for the future. I thought it was very brave of her, to be fair, to come on social media. I think she was braiding her hair or whatever she was doing anyway. Not using a lightsaber this time, which is pleasant to see. But yeah, quite a dark side to the things in terms of some of the comments and that they were all getting.
Yeah, I would agree. And I also I know some people on our Facebook were a little upset with everyone that didn't like it being pinned as racist. There are legit people who don't like the show, and that's perfectly fine. I don't agree with some of their complaints, but I also don't want to lump everyone in who didn't like the show as being like a racist or a sexist or anything like that. Some people just legitimately didn't like it, and that's fine. And I've gotten into some, I wouldn't say arguments and things like that, but there's just a lot of misinformation out there. It is brave of her to come out there because she knows she's just setting herself up for more hate when she does it. So kudos to her for coming out. I don't think she was asking or crying for help, or she just was like, hey, this is why I got canceled. This is my thoughts. And, we always scramble. We're always talking about how we wish we knew what the actors and things like that were thinking. And they told us, and then people complain because they didn't like what they had to say. It's like, well, you can't have it both ways, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with them, but at least you know where they stand. I don't necessarily know if racism got the show canceled. I don't know if I believe that. I just believe that it comes down to the numbers, man. And I mean, if that's the reason, like if there are that many people out there, because I mean, a lot of people who didn't like the show were watching it anyways to complain about it. So I felt like the numbers should be there. But yeah, kudos to her. She'll bounce back. I think she's going to come back stronger than before. And I still think there's an outside chance that what if, Star Wars Japan, the celebration, they announce the Apprentice or something like that. Like I would not rule it out and just be like, yeah, the Acolyte's not coming back, but guess what is? Boom.
Yeah.
Imagine crybabying then. So, but yeah, good stuff. Sigourney Weaver to be a part of The Mandalorian and Grogu after confirmed with a sit-down chat with Deadline to chat about her career. She mentioned she met Grogu the other day whilst at the set. So very cool. I know all the
Yeah,
actors, they kind of sometimes forget that Grogu's not real because they have so much good electronics and stuff like that with them. So that's pretty exciting. And Sigourney Weaver, I mean, she's awesome in everything she does. I would have liked to have seen her be a Jedi. I always thought with her action, but she'd also be a good Mandalorian, be a good bounty hunter. She'd be. I hope.
bounty hunter.
I hope it's not like some like political role or something like that. I hope she's a badass. Like she's.
Yeah,
I want to see flashbacks from Alien and stuff like that with her because she can do it.
yeah, yeah. She'd fit that role perfectly. I think definitely, 100%. The newest book from the High Republic is also out now. The young reader novel called "Beware of the Nameless." Is this the one with the front cover of the hut creature?
Yeah, there's two like bird-looking Jedi. There's a big
That's the
giant
one.
nameless, and then there's a little hut up there with them. So I'm kind of
That's the one.
I somehow this got past me, which is bonkers because I've read everything so far, and
Yeah,
I missed this. So getting ready for the show, I saw that, and I was like, oh crap! So it'll be here on Tuesday, and
yeah.
I'll get
Good shout. So yeah. So Beware the Nameless by Zoraida Cordova
yeah,
picks up around the same time as all the events that's going on in Temptation of the Force, which is the latest adult novel, which I've
yeah.
still not read yet. Actually, I need to pick that up.
You got to dive into that. So good, so good. And finally, I think this is the last bit of news: is Keanu Reeves. Neo himself almost played Master Soul in the Acolyte Disney Plus show, but due to scheduling conflicts, he wasn't able to take part. It's rumored that Disney has a very high interest in bringing him in on a project in the future. I have a couple questions about this, and this is almost bait for an entire show, but maybe Mike and I can tackle this or something Tuesday as well. But I mean, I can talk a long time about Solo, so we'll see. But you know, I've supported Leslie Headland, but this kind of flies in the face a little bit of some of the stuff she said, where she wanted Lee Jung Jae like was her first choice.
Yeah,
So that doesn't line up, right?
go
it is
straight
what
out the
it is.
window.
Yeah, it goes straight out the windows, and you're like, okay, well, what else is there? And I'm not going to sit there and steamroller for that. Just those things don't line up. I get like you want to sell the people that are in your show, but you got to think about like this information is probably going to get out sooner or later because everyone wants him in there, and people were. I mean, the information came out. We thought he was going to be in it. Remember,
Yeah, there's leaks and that, wasn't there?
information. I think we even reported on at one point that he was in the show or a minor character. So there's
Yeah,
that. Um, and then I got questions for you. One, are you glad he didn't join the Acolyte?
yeah.
And then do you think that he could have saved the Acolyte himself?
No.
And then are you excited that he may show up in another movie or a TV show
Yes.
eventually?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about that. And that's something I wonder we can chat about sometime, but would he have saved the show? Apparently he was interested in doing it because Carrie Ann Moss, they're really good friends. I mean, they spent a lot of time together in movies and stuff. He's actually filming something called The Ballerina, which is uh, like a side project for the John Wick series. So that's
Hmm.
exciting that there's more John Wick stuff coming out. But yeah, I don't know if he's Master Soul. I love Master Soul. I thought that
I think he
Legion
did a
just
perfect job.
crushed it. I don't know
Yeah.
what Keanu Reeves does that enhances that role. It would be interesting though to see if more people tuned in because of the things that people are saying. Though that's my only thing. But I'm glad if the Acolyte's not moving forward that he wasn't part of that because now he can show back up in something, a
Yeah.
movie or something, and just be. I mean, he's been, was it a couple of different characters like Revan and different things like that that people want him to play. He would be an amazing Jedi, amazing Jedi.
Yes. Yes.
Be, it'd be great if he was like the first like kind of down the middle. I don't want to say the
Yeah.
term. I don't want to say that
Perfect.
fires everybody up, but it would be nice if he kind of flirted on both sides of the line a little bit.
He's got the Revan part all over him. I think he'd do a fantastic job, but I think it's going to be a wait to see what Jude Law does with his character
Yeah.
first. So yeah,
Yep.
interesting news this week.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff.
Okay, so this week then we are talking about Star Wars Outlaws.
Let's go.
So, as normal, we put the feelers out there and we got some comments as usual from our listeners and friends. So, first up, Jimmy, what have we
All
got?
right. Our man Darren Briscoe said, "I've only just started playing it. I mean, not far at all. I was right with you, Dale, today. It's a stunner, and I'm glad Canto Bite has another rule. I'm loving the photo mode. For me, inclusion in any game gives it an enhanced value, and it definitely has lots of aliens."
Oh, yes. Zed
So,
Adam Green also said that he's really enjoying it so far. He said, I'll say one thing, it's vast. Haven't got the ship repaired yet and done a lot of missions already. I like the fact that you have to play the syndicates off against each other. Also liked how I politely challenged some Imperial officers who were harassing someone and they turned on me. I'm finding it hard to spot enemies and keep in stealth though.
yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We got
Yeah.
Kai Chris's son has already done the story and is exploring around. So
Yeah.
kudos. I don't know. Are you guys? Is Kai is he British?
Yeah.
So
Kai's
were
Brit.
they off school for a while, or because this kid had put in some time?
He'd have probably just done it over the weekend, mate. I think he's
Yes,
about
sir.
8 or 9 as well. So kudos
Impressive.
to Kai if you're listening,
Most
mate.
impressive.
Well, yeah, well done. He said that his favorite part is as well as driving around blasting people. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely love that. Gemma Reed said she's been playing it all pre-release as well, over 11 hours in, and she's only on the first planet still. It's great, very immersive in the Star Wars world. Some stealth is jank, but soon gets better as the game progresses.
Yeah, it's exciting. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So, Jackie
Yes,
boy, you've had to play it on a small screen. Have you played it
yes,
on the big screen yet?
I have, and I will
Are
go
you
into.
enjoying it?
I will go into how that's possible shortly, but yes, I'm absolutely loving Star Wars Outlaws. As a lot of people have mentioned, commenting, um, it's very, very immersive. I think for, I don't want to say true Star Wars fans, but for Star Wars fans that are really into the story and they know a lot of lore, say more than normal fans, I get why they'd enjoy it more, if that makes sense. Um, it is very immersive. We'll go into each bit in a bit more detail. But what about you, Jimmy? Are you enjoying it?
Yes. To be honest with you, I got it on Tuesday and I got to play for like an hour and a half and I played for like an hour and I
Yeah.
wasn't feeling it. And I was like, I knew though, once I got down and got some time, these games, I feel like you not being a gamer for me personally, and I get a little
Mm.
overwhelmed when I first start a new game because it's like all the controls, what's going on.
Yeah.
And so this morning I got up because I couldn't sleep. And I got up at like six something and I just put it on. I started over. I was only like, I had just gotten to the first planet, like I'd gotten away from
Yeah.
Bite. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna start over, kind of have a feel for it. Man, I'm loving it. Just did a mission before I came down here to record. I'm hooked. I
Yeah.
like the story. I like the thing. I'm starting to figure out the gameplay a little bit. It's definitely different from a lot
Yeah.
of from the last two Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Being the Jedi Fallen Order series and
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Survival, way different. There's no sneaking around as Cal Kestis. You just jacking fools up with your saber. And this one is fun. I can see why people might not like it because you got to be a little more patient because
Yes.
you get
Yes.
overwhelmed. But yeah, so far now, as of Sunday, I put a couple hours into it. I love it. I can't wait to get into it. There's so many fun things about it.
Oh yeah.
It's
There's
not
loads.
perfect, but there's not. I mean, what's the perfect game?
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And again, I'll start off with a little bit of a story. So, what happened to me on pre-release? So I ordered the game. I downloaded it on my PC. Started playing it, and essentially my character Vess, I kept falling through the floor, and then at some points I was falling through the planet. I was like, right, this isn't loaded properly, so I uninstalled it, installed it again. Still kept happening. I was like, right, I've had enough of this. I've tried it. I'm gonna uninstall it. Ask for a refund. So I did. Then I looked on Reddit, looked what I needed to do, if there's something wrong with PC, blah blah blah. and then someone said, "Oh, have you tried turning down the graphics cards and all this?" I thought, you know what, I should have tried that. So paid for it again, another £95 straight out of the account. Got it on, installed it, and it's still happening. And at this point, I'm like, right, this is killing me now. However, every time I tried to install it, because I was on a military base, the internet would not download it. So I tried hotspot it from my phone. I got in touch with the Discord server, and some awesome Australian guy was talking me through stuff to try to get around it. Didn't work. And I only found out that if I hotspotted it through my phone, I could download it. But obviously I didn't want to do that because I need all my megabytes on my phone. Long story short, again, I found the civilian internet on the military base, paid £6 to use a day's worth so I could just download it again. So at this point, I've installed it twice. I've paid nearly £200 and we're on. Again, playing, the graphics card, everything, it's just not working. It's just not happening again. So, right, okay, I need to get rid of it. It's just not going to work for me. Refunded it, done. Someone then told me, why don't you try it through Epic Game Store instead of going through Ubisoft Connect? Same thing, paid another £95. At this point now, I've spent nearly £300 on the same game just so I could play it early, just so I could get ready for the show, etc. But yeah, it still kept happening. It still kept falling through. It turns out my PC isn't powerful enough to pay it. If I want to update my graphics card, you're looking at about £300-400. Come back home, told the wife, there's absolutely no way I'm getting a PS5. So again, I'm doing some research, looking at things. Then I found a hidden trick. So this point, listeners, this is the point now I'm going to tell you how to play Star Wars Outlaws for £15 on the cheap on your mobile device. So all you need, again, it can be a smart mobile, it can be a smart TV. Next thing you need to do, though, is go to Ubisoft and you need to purchase Ubisoft Plus. So what that gives you is like a month's worth of games for £15 a month. I'm not sure what it is in American dollars or Canadian dollars. You get Star Wars Outlaws on there. There's Assassin's Creed, every single one out there. Lord of the Rings on, loads of different games. Anyway, on your phone or on your TV, you need to download something called the Luna app and the Luna controller. And I'll come on to that in a bit more detail shortly. So once you've got all that, you'll open up your Luna app. You sign in for your Ubisoft Plus account and then go on your game. Now, to play on your smartphone and your TV, obviously you need a controller. Now, you can buy a Luna controller from Amazon, about £50. Again, you've already paid £15. What's the point? Now, what you can do is use any form of Bluetooth device. So again, even if you haven't got a PlayStation 4 or Xbox controller, you can actually use your phone as your controller for the game. So I sat there with a smart TV and mobile phone using that for a little bit. It is difficult, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, my son's got a PS5. I've got a PS4 as well. So any Bluetooth controller, I connect it to my phone, open up the Luna Control app, back on the Luna app, and I'm playing in bed next to my wife Star Wars Outlaws on my mobile phone using a wireless Bluetooth controller. And then for the rest of the weekend, I've just been downstairs on my smart TV, no console on, nothing, just playing through the TV on the Luna Steam cloud. Caveat to that, it says to you if you need to use a faster internet connection, I just use a wired one. I've got no dreamers. I've had no bugs. I've had no issues. The graphics are brilliant. The gameplay is brilliant. Everything runs smoothly. £15 a month. And for me as well, I'm one of those gamers that once I've completed something, I will try and 100% it. I'll get as close as I can, if not get 100%. And after that, I probably won't play it again.
Yeah.
So for £15, you know.
That's, yeah. I mean, wow. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy what technology can do. I mean, hold you back and then also different ways to, come at the problem. So I know you weren't the only person that had problems. I know our friend Tony had some issues. He's pretty upset.
He's fuming.
So, but yeah, like good for you for not like giving in and, being determined. So,
yeah, awesome. Well, you have to get the research in for this. But yeah, you mentioned Tony had an absolute nightmare. He asked for his money back. He's done with the game straight away. I think he lost a lot of hours. I know there's a lot of bugs that are out there. People have had to update the game and lose a lot of save time, and that's what happened to Tony. But yeah, that's where we're at, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult. I don't know. We don't really do any live streams. I've watched a guy who loves Star Wars live stream a little bit of it. He's having a riot with it, so we'll chat with him sometime soon.
Oh, yeah. And that brings us on nicely to the next topic then. So what is good about Star Wars Outlaws? Start us off, Jimmy. What do you think is good? What are you enjoying?
And it feels like Star Wars. There's so many
Yeah.
aliens, and it's different than Jedi Order or Survivor because
Yes.
it's like it feels like the original trilogy, dirty, like grungy
Yes.
kind. And I know I've only gotten to like because you're in the bad part of Canto Bight. We'll try to do as much as we can without like spoiling any of the story. I'm not very far, and neither is Jack, so we're not really going to give you a whole lot of
No.
information.
Yeah.
But and I so it's a beautiful game, like
Very beautiful.
planets I've been on, Kanto and was it Toshara, just I mean, wow, gorgeous. And it just feels like it. Like you're in
Yeah.
Star Wars. I love Nyx. I love what you can do with Nyx. It's a
Yeah.
little repetitive, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's fun. It's so different than any Star Wars game I've played. And again, we
That's
have
what
to
I
make
like.
I'm not a huge gamer. I know you game a little bit more than I do, but I
Mm.
know a lot of like big time gamer channels haven't liked this game very much or whatever. But I've really loved it. And that's and then at first what I didn't like about it, I kind of like now is like I don't like things. I feel it's hard to get started on it because it doesn't feel like intuitive to me. Like it's not
Okay. Yeah.
tutorial. And that kind of bummed like there's no like, how they do it. They kind of integrate into the story and you learn how to do
Yeah. Yeah.
and do it on the fly. So I feel like that didn't help my anxiety with the game or anything like that. And but once you start playing it, that aspect of like looking around and seeing things and there's 50 different ways to get somewhere and that is pretty cool. I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
miss a lot of stuff though. And I just so I like that so far. I mean, I've really only got to ride the speeder and then run around and shoot things. So, but yeah, it feels like Star Wars. The story is picking up. You get a little glimpse into
Yeah.
her as a child. So I like that too. I like the like who was it that said playing off the cartels or the syndicates against each other. It's fun from
It's
I
brilliant.
always use like being a good guy, so this is kind of difficult,
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
throwing people over and and you're lying to people and doing different things. So like it's not in my wheelhouse, but it's been kind of fun, and I'm
I
looking
love it.
forward to really diving into it. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
those are a couple of things that really for me. And again, I'm only oh my gosh, if there's a percentage, I mean, I'm assuming I probably played 4 hours today, maybe. So
Yeah.
into the game now, so it's pretty exciting.
One of the big things that you said as well is the feel. Like you said, it's completely feel to Jedi Survivor. In Jedi Survivor, it's pretty one-dimensional to a degree, I guess, where you can just jump up, force
Story,
pull, force
yeah,
push, cut things in half, and move on. With Star Wars Outlaws, there's a completely different feel, and you feel a lot more vulnerable, don't you? As well, there's
oh
not.
yeah, like
You've
you
really got
are,
to think what you're doing.
yeah, and that's fun and it's hard,
Yeah,
because you never like the one thing someone said about not being able to figure out the stealth mode. That's difficult because you just don't know when they're going to see you, when they are going to see you. Sometimes you
yeah,
can get pretty close to them, they don't see you. It's a little buggy
yeah,
there, but I mean, it's a
yeah.
game. It's not real life,
Yeah,
so
it's not perfect in some of the gameplay aspects like stealth, like you mentioned. It is difficult. The lock picking's absolutely nails. I think the
that
easiest way I find that
driving.
I close my eyes, I do, and sort of sing it in my
Mhm.
head. Um, but
And
yeah,
I'm
there's
not musical at all,
yeah,
like, and I am struggling opening things up.
yeah,
I'm like sitting there rhythm. Okay, okay, boom, boom.
yeah.
So
That's what I'm
rocking
like. Yeah, yeah. It's brilliant. But I know we've had a few comments as well on the socials, like people asking what it's like. So the best way, or the only way I can describe it now, without giving any spoilers, there's a total about 5 planets that you can explore on this game. If I was going to compare it to a game, I'd compare it to Red Dead Redemption 2, but
Ooh,
not on such a grand scale. I'd say it's
yeah,
like a really watered down version of that, but Star Wars. Um, and then in terms of your combat and your gameplay, it's smooth to a degree, but you've really got to think outside the box. It is a sandbox as well. So again, they mentioned it before, Ubisoft did, saying stuff like, if you see a ship coming in, if you follow that ship, it's probably up to something. And that's part of the reason I'm pretty much the same boat as Jimmy, where I've not really left Toshari at the first planet. I'm literally on the way to a mission. I think, right, I'll go drop this off. I've done that. And then I'll see someone like, what's that over there? and then the next minute I'm 3 hours in and I've done about 4 side missions. I'm nowhere near handing things in.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't mind that. I got a lot of time for that. I've seen a few different weapons. I've used a few different weapons. Some of the characters, like Jimmy said, I love the Syndicate stuff. Crimson Dawn, I'm a most hated Syndicate. I'm absolutely like trying to wash my hands of them. I love helping the Huts.
I'm gonna be his main person if I can work my way.
Yeah, it's brilliant. There's loads of unlockables, different clothing you can get that give you different perks. There's different abilities that you can do. For instance, one of the abilities is where if you get spotted, they're like, "Hey, who's that over there?" Or "You shouldn't be here."
Oh,
And then you press a button, and she'll start quick talking to them. And it's another thing that I like about the gameplay itself is it's like a really, I don't say weak, but it's like a lesser version of Han Solo in a way to me.
Yeah.
But we'll go into it a bit more depth, like the characters and stuff like that. So just overall, yeah, things that we like about it are pretty much what me and Jimmy have just spoken about there. But I think the thing that we agree on, Jimmy, it's a completely different feel to Jedi Survivor, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just finished a replay of Survivor, or was it? Yeah, Survivor. So I guess it's taken me a little bit to get my head wrapped around not being a Jedi.
Yeah.
Everything I do, I can be killed. So yeah, but yeah, definitely a different feel, and I think that's good. Everyone complains.
Yeah.
That's the thing about the fandom, though. Like, we want something new, and then when they get it,
It's not the new they wanted.
it's not the new they wanted. So, but I think this is fun. I think people give it a chance, and it does take a little bit of time, a little bit of investment into it. I think for someone like myself, and I know there's probably a lot of people out there who like, oh, I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm going to play Star Wars games. I mean, I bought the PS5 because I wanted it for Fallen Order when it came out. I mean, that's the whole reason I bought it. Of course, we use it with our TV and stuff, but I do think that this game takes a little bit more for non-gamers like myself. It takes a little bit more time to get into it and get the feel for things.
Yeah.
I think once you do, I feel like I'm going to be invested hardcore. And I'm excited because I feel like you can play this game. Like, if you really wanted to, you could play this game different 2 or 3 times through, because you could
100%
other groups. And that's the only thing that bums me out is like, I'm like, oh, what if I do this or if I do that? But yeah, that's exciting. It's an exciting game. I think it's so far.
Yeah. So the next thing we're going to speak about is the characters themselves. Now, there is a whole host of characters. Again, this is going to be as spoiler-free as we can make it. So there are, again, characters that are going to be, or that are in this, that you know from the movies, Empire Strikes Back, the originals. Mm-hmm. We know that Lando is going to be in it in the DLC, and Honda as well. So again, there's 2 more characters. But there's certain other people that you'd associate with the underworld, let's say, that do make an appearance, which is absolutely fantastic. But yes, just starting off with the main characters, Kay Vess. Again, she just reminds me of a Han Solo, but a female version on a different planet, I think. She's not great with a blaster. She's very all-round skilled, apart from, I'd probably say, she's quite handy or quick-handed. Is it a sleight of hand, isn't it? Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand. She's obviously a human female. She's looked after at the beginning by a oh god, what are they called? Is it Zarek?
Zabrak.
That's it, Zabrak. Barman that pretty much houses her, looks after her. As you go through the story, you see how she's ended up there as well. Again, the story's fantastic. We'll come to that shortly. But as a character, big fan of Kay Vess. What do you think of Kay Vess, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. I mean, they don't make it so she's like weak or anything like that, but you got to be creative.
Yeah.
And, some people might not like that because they're not creative, and I think like sometimes the people who are complaining about it not being like just to shoot them up, stuff like that. I mean, there's like things you can shoot to blow things up, and there's, there's different, you got to use your environment a lot more. And it's like I said, there's like 20 different ways to get into a place. And it's cool. But yeah, I like her character. I'm excited to flush it out. I mean, we've gotten, was it Waka or whatever? That's about the only character. And then, you start getting introduced to different people. But yeah, I like her. I like her connection with Nyx. That's fun.
Yeah.
it's weird to me. Like, it's like another animal crawling on your back, kind of like BD1. I can't
I
imagine
love
that
Nyx.
realistically how comfortable that would be, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I like you can use them to cheat and stuff like that, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so those two, the main two characters, Nyx and Kay, I'm all in for it.
Yeah, Nyx is brilliant. Like I said as well, one of the things I was looking forward to in this game is finally we've got a companion that I was going to say has a heart, but is live. It's not. It's not.
Mhm.
It's not a droid, and the dynamic that an animal companion or a human companion brings is completely different to a droid. And Nyx is obviously voiced by D. Bradley Baker as well. He's obviously the guy that did the voices for the Bad Batch predominantly. People will know him from. So yeah, big fan of Nyx. Some of the other characters that you'll see in the game, again, without giving spoilers away, because it's pretty obvious that you're gonna come into them, is you come across obviously the Pike Syndicate. You'll
Mhm.
meet Gorak, a one-eyed Pike guy. Again, I like the feel that these bosses are all different to each other.
Yeah.
What did you think of Gorak, Jimmy?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I like how that story unfolds because he's like, "Get out of here," the first time, and you
Yeah,
come in, and I think it's pretty cool, and it's not like he's just the main. I don't want to try to give too much away, but it feels real because it's like you're playing a movie because this is how a movie would play out,
yes,
and so that's pretty fun, and everyone's kind of. I mean, everyone kind of gives you advice when they're yelling at you and things like that too. Like, you're new here, come back when you're
yeah,
not, and stuff like that, which I thought was a pretty cool line. But yeah, I
yeah, I
think
like that.
it'd be interesting. I'll be curious as to when I make him mad, what happens, you know.
Oh
So,
gosh, yeah,
but yeah, I think he looks great too. Like it's fun to have these pikes in the show. We started
yeah,
getting that in what Book of Boba Fett, I think, is where we really started getting the Pike Syndicate
yeah.
live action and different things like that. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. That whole bar has a lot of characters in it.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. One of the other key players again which is brand new, that was brought into the game, is someone that leads the Zarek Besh, and it's another little crime syndicate. Is Silo, or is it Silo? Silerio, Siro.
Valerio, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like the main protagonist of the game essentially. Um, Again, right at the start, the story and what happens, and the people that you work with. I didn't expect that either at all.
No.
That's such a big impact straight away of a game. And again, you see both sides of that, let's say, faction as well, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty cool how they start the game off.
Yeah,
So
absolutely awesome. And like Jimmy mentioned, one of the bars that you're going around, you have, oh God, what are they called? Calderi, the fish people. Oh God, what are they called?
Mon Calamari.
Mon Calamari. Mine's just going blank. Yeah, Danka. So you've got a female Mon Calamari. Again, always giving you help and advice. But yeah, in terms of characters and like I said, Jimmy, there's so much to this, isn't there? There's so much depth.
Yeah, a lot of character development. I think I got some real Sid vibes though from
Yeah,
Danka. I was
yeah,
like, "Argh."
yeah,
So I still haven't forgiven that Transdotion. It's
yeah,
crimes against the Bad Batch. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and um, yeah, they look cool. It's fun to see these aliens and different. Most of the time when we're talking Mon Cali, they're in the Rebel Alliance or something, and this one's wheeling and dealing in the underworld. Wearing her pearls and stuff like that.
yeah,
So kind of fun, and she's got a little attitude to her too, so that's pretty fun.
yeah,
And I've liked it so far. I'm excited for where this game goes.
yeah. Same,
I hope I
same.
don't have to do anything like bad to anybody. Like I'll have a hard time doing that. Like if I gotta like gun her down or something later on.
Who who knows?
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, we spoke about it a little bit. The clans that are in this. There's so many different clans, and again with the game, it talks about the lore. You can go into the pause menu essentially. It gives you a bit of background. So who we got clan wise again? We've posted it already on Instagram for the build up of the game. You've got the Huts, obviously Jabba the Huts guys. You've got the Pike Syndicate, Zarek Besh lot. Who else we got? Jimmy Crimson Dawn. You've even got the Empire as well. I know it's not a crime syndicate, but
Yeah, they're
they're big
basically starting to
players.
crime syndicates.
Yeah.
From
Yeah. Uh, and then the visuals of the game, like absolutely unreal. Now I'm playing on a cloud for a TV. I mean, people that are using high-end PCs, PS5s,
hmm
probably even Xbox Series X or S. The visuals are amazing, aren't they? The planets, and I find myself on some of these games. I do it all the time just to take it in. But you stand there and you're looking around, and no wonder people have said how good the photo mode is.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely see some artwork coming out of these. It's gorgeous. You're
Oh,
driving up
yeah,
to like when you're
beautiful.
driving up to Toshara the first time, that first city. And I haven't played long enough to have these like cities memorized or anything like that. But man, like it just looks awesome. And it's
Yeah,
unique. I love it. I love it. I
yeah.
love it.
They do a great job of Tatooine as well. There's certain places you can go to. Again, let's say relive certain scenes and see things. It's just yeah, amazing. Absolutely in awe of it. The music itself, again, nice little score. They have released a soundtrack actually today.
Oh, they
I think it
have.
was released. Yeah, they've released an Outlaws soundtrack for
Check it
anyone
out.
that's interested. Yeah, into the gaming music. I don't mind the music. To be fair, it's pretty
I like
decent,
the
isn't it?
intro music a lot.
Yeah. It's quite sinister
Yeah,
like, kind of music, isn't it?
the sinister version of the Star Wars music. I really enjoy that.
Yeah. And then something again, me and Jimmy have spoken about again the feel. This game really does have a good atmosphere about it. I've got the feeling or the atmosphere when you go into these places like the cantinas, the bars. You do get that sense of you're in the underbelly, you're in the underworld here, aren't you?
Yeah, it's kind of like yeah. I mean, you feel like you're walking into something in a show, or you're walking into just danger every time you go in someplace. And
Yeah,
it feels real. As far as a video game can feel, it feels really real, and things are different enough, but also similar because it would be
yeah,
similar. Like crime is crime, so everything's kind of the same, but it's also different. And
yeah,
I like that aspect because it'll help. And I'm only on one planet, so I'm excited to get to Kijimi and all these other places and see how they run it. Um,
yeah.
it's gonna be one of those ones too where memorizing the maps and things like that, getting in and
Oh
out of
God,
places. I know there's a fast travel mode, and I've used it a little bit because I wanted to
yeah,
get as far as I could before we got down here and talked, but I didn't even put a dent into it. But yeah, there's a lot of exploring and stuff too, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, each planet's got their own little syndicate hideouts as well, and own little treasures. Again, all I've done is just gone around Toshara a load and just hit people's hideouts, stolen loads of stuff, just lived the scoundrel life.
Are you trying
Um,
to so like I'll not spoil this, but you do this thing, you get set up, they ask you to go and like save these animals, right? And it's
yeah,
like
I've done that.
one of the very first things. Can you do the whole thing just straight up violence? Do you think it's
Yeah,
possible? Like you get overwhelmed with characters coming after you, like um
it's difficult. So I had to like do part stealth, part all out violence because I just couldn't.
yeah,
The stealth's not brilliant. We'll talk about some of the work on points, I think.
yeah.
But yeah, I had to, and it's sort of the next bit we'll talk about anyways, the tricks. In fact,
Mm,
we'll just go straight into it now. Yeah, is that it's you have to, like Jimmy said, you've got to use the environment around you.
mhm.
Whether it's storms coming in, there's explosive barrels, there's things you can sabotage. You can use nicks as distractions. If you get caught, you've got to use your ability and use your quick wits. You've got a stun gun as well. It's all about using your environment and learning the routes or the behavior of the enemy as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's they are NPCs
Yeah,
and they've
yeah,
got their guides and you can do different things. And I like the whistle, right? If you don't hit the whistle right, your speeder
mm,
shows up and it screws everything up. So
yeah,
it's taking me a while, like I said, to get into some of this stuff. But yeah, I think in that mission alone, and we'll just we can focus on that one because it's really early, it's really easy into it, and most people who will listen to our show that are playing the game probably already done it. But
yeah,
um, you go all the way around that base. You can sneak up from the back. You can sneak up from the different sides. Like there's different
yeah,
ways to do things, and they really incorporate just like kind of like Jedi Survivor did in Fallen Order, where like you can climb up certain things, but it's like part of the environment, and I've liked that part of it so far. So
yeah,
yeah, I think that and I got up there one time and was using like a grenade launcher at one point. That was not effective, and so I go back to being sneaky.
Yeah. Yeah, I pretty much stealthed my way all the way up to the building, and then it was literally just detonating things and chucking thermal detonators and ran out another door, and they were like, where is she?
Yeah.
But yeah, sort of brings us on to, I'm going to say bad points, but more work on points, to be honest. We've mentioned it in the when, haven't we? This stealth is not brilliant. You can't tell if you're about to be spotted or not.
Yeah, because you can put Nicks out in front of somebody and walk right up to them and light them up.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I would be fully distracted if Nicks came up to me. I'm like, Nicks, I'm get lit up. But yeah, so that's not perfect. It's not bad. It's not terrible.
No.
And I mean, it's a game. If they made it 100% realistic, you'd never get past the first level because most
100%.
have the ability to be, there's a reason that spies are spies and we're not. And so, so I get it. I like it, and there's some, hide in the grass and whistle and bring people over to you. And sometimes it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because like someone's standing right beside them and one of them comes over and you can light them up and then you can sneak around and get somebody else. But, it's not perfect. Some people aren't patient enough, I think, to maybe enjoy that aspect of it. I think trying to like that storyline on its own, like if you walked in there and just started lighting people up, I feel like that would be very difficult.
Yeah.
Out of that because you only have your blaster, and sometimes you can pick up. That's another thing too. Sometimes you can pick up the weapons of a person, and then sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
That's a little frustrating. Like if they drop a weapon, you should be able to grab it and use it.
Yeah.
Every
100%.
time. It should be kind of like across the board. That, and I will tell you, as an old man, you can only do small and medium for the words. I need some big giant text so I can read it because I'm sitting there now, I'm sitting like this far away from the TV. I'm like, hey, I'm playing because I can't see what anything says. I ain't got readers on, but so. And I was like, Molly, can you read that? Because she was watching me play like Sabacc and stuff like that. She was checking it out, and we need to talk about that too. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, we'll get on in a minute. Yeah,
but she's like, what the hell? Like this is so small. So we are going through it, small and medium. Like why not a large?
Yeah,
why Ubisoft? I'm almost 50 years old. I don't have these. I'm not a PC gamer where I'm sitting there with a TV right in my face. I'm sitting back. My mommy taught me back in the good old days.
That's brilliant.
That is probably my biggest gripe right now is the fact that I can't read anything on the dang screen.
Yeah, it is difficult. There is a few bugs like you mentioned. There's about 16, 17 weapons in total in the game. Some of the enemies are a bit harder to hit, and you don't realise that until you're shooting at them, and they still keep charging at you, and you're like, right, I might need a near 11 or a repeater or something bigger to blow that thing out of the sky.
The guys with the shields are difficult.
Oh, mate,
they drop it and then whoop you with the baton or whatever it is.
Yeah, and they hit hard. But yeah, using Nicks as well is like tricks sort of thing. You can use tricks. Nicks do the tricks to distract people or even attack them. Nicks can also steal from them if you're on grenades or stim packs, which is fantastic. Jimmy mentioned it as well about the Sabacc. You play actual Sabacc in it. You can bet. I've won one game, I think, out of about 3 Sabacc games. It is difficult.
First one they set you up to win, and then I haven't played since, but I'm curious because I think the first DLC is a big Sabacc thing, so we'll see.
Yeah. You've then got the Canto Bite. What are they called? The creatures that they ride on.
Oh, the fathers.
Fathers, yes. You can bet on those. And again, there's loads of little hints and tricks. So you can go to a bar, sit on a stool, and you can listen to people's conversations where they're hiding things. One of the things I picked up on when I was betting on the fathers, someone said to bet on the tallest father, so you can look at the height of them. So obviously I bet all my money on the tallest one and it won. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, so you've got all sorts of things. You can listen in on how people cheat at Sabacc and learn it as well. You get different types of cards in Sabacc as well that do certain different things. There's absolutely there's so much to this game, I think.
Yeah, I was trying to explain to Molly too how Lucasfilm didn't trademark Sabacc. So
yeah,
having what they had to call like Star Wars card game or something whenever they sell stuff. And she's
Yeah,
like, because her family, they love card games. She goes, let's learn how to play Sabacc. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Like that'll be cool.
easy game.
Yeah.
I brought it to Star Wars Celebration. So essentially, Sabat, you just got to get either a pair of the same symbol, but also that you got to be whoever's got the lowest total to 0 wins. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
And they get to roll the dice and all that stuff too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out some of the symbols and things like that. Because again, I can't read the cards. The numbers on the cards are so hard to.
They are really hard.
Like, why is it so difficult?
Yeah,
I'm sure that's stuff that they can fix.
100%.
Dates and things. I hope they do. Like, those are minor complaints. I think so far, just my old eyes.
I'm the same, and I don't quite get the PC specs. I'm a bit bitter about why I didn't play my PC properly, but I also think, this game has been in the making for a long time.
Yeah.
It won 2 awards for the most anticipated game. I want to say 2023, I think it was. And I do feel that maybe a few more months, this could have been really polished.
Well, they said it was gold in the beginning of August. I thought they were going to release it early or something because they said, was it when it's classified gold, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
And that was like the first week in August. I'm like, oh, maybe we're going to get like an early release just to, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what goes into it. The more we play Star Wars video games, the more I understand like video gaming, creating video games is a hazardous job. It seems like.
Oh yeah, big time. But I think overall, I'm more than happy with it. I would be annoyed, if I'm honest, if I'd paid the full 95 that I did go to originally, or the Ultimate Edition as well, because of how not polished it is. Because I did start to get Cyberpunk vibes, and when people are telling me as well that they've played for like 6 hours and then suddenly there's an update and got to start again, that's not right.
Yeah, that's difficult. I wish, and I get that. Like, I don't know how they do it if they give it out to so many people and then they see what the problems are. I'm sure people test it and play it, but if you're playing it on, you got a handful of people playing it, there's not going to be the problems that are there.
It depends on the people that are playing it as well. I mean, if you've got, some content creators who go in to play it because they play games, or whatever, that's fine, that's brilliant. But then you've got people that play games that test certain things or look for certain things in games. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't had any issues with bugs yet. On the PS5, I had the gold edition. Supposedly, I got both the DLCs that come out and the season pass.
Well worth it.
The season pass itself was like $50 for the year. So then I already got the DLCs, but I got to figure out how that works because I tried to like upload the outfit that looks more like Solo, and then something with the speeder bike, and I haven't been able to figure out how to do that yet. So again, not super tech savvy on the PlayStation, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, just it's a lot of money for games.
It is. It's getting more and more expensive, which is a shame.
Everything is getting more and more expensive. So,
but
yeah.
Keep listening to Explore the Force, and I'll keep helping people out with tips for cheaper games and that. But I think really, without giving too many spoilers away, Jimmy, anything else you want to cover on Star Wars Outlaws?
Just give it time. Is my big thing.
Keep
and
playing.
Back in the day, I would have gotten real impatient. And I think this is more of a reaction to all the people that are just so negative about everything Star Wars. I just want to hate it. I was like, okay, because I wasn't really feeling it at first. I was like, man, I said, if I don't like it, I'm not going to like it. That's fine. But I was like, I also know myself. I get overwhelmed when I start a game because all new controls, figuring things out. And then, this game is very different from most of the games I've played. It kind of are
huge,
more on the lines of like a Tom Clancy, sneaking around and shooting things.
Splinter Cell.
Yeah, so I just like give yourself time, play a little bit, just take your time, and I think you can really enjoy it. I'm super excited to see how far it goes, and there's different things you can do. Like the first time I landed on Toshara, I got lit up by those speeders bikes that chase you. The second time, I know what I'm doing a little bit better, and I have a little bit more control, and I'm not as wound up. It's the work week and everything like that. Handled my business, kept on flying. So yeah, just give it
Nice.
time. I think it's going to be cool. And
Yeah.
if we don't, at the end we don't like it, we'll tell you that we don't like it. But so far, I have nothing major
Yeah.
other than I made it have to get like stronger prescription glasses when I went. I'm reading there with big old Coke bottles trying to play the game. So.
Yeah, brilliant. And as always, guys and girls, let us know your thoughts and comments. Obviously, we know one person that's completed it already, and I'm sure he's not even 10 years old. So it's put us all to shame. So again, congratulations to Kai on that. Again, please explore the Force. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, and YouTube. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your Star Wars friends and family about the podcast. Again, as always, we are growing massively. There's more content coming. There's more reviews coming for certain other things that are coming our way. So, for myself, Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid.
There you go. That's perfect with where we're at. Ooh, before we go, prediction: are there any Jedi in this game? Are we going to run across anybody?
Oh, that's a great shout. No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm hard pressed to think that we'll find anybody either. Again, Tuesday night. This comes out Tuesday morning, first thing, and hopefully you're listening to it right now on your commute or whatever. And join Mike and I, the mailman, talk about the greatest Star Wars movie ever made, Solo: A Star Wars Story. And for all of us, we have spoken. We'll see you guys next week.
See you later.